On October 7, I was here at the Nova Music Festival. I ran from my life, hid for 7 hours. Terrorists shot me twice. Thankfully, I survived. I'm still dealing with trauma, and I'm not alone.
Hello, what's up, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's your boy, the Crackhead, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful Thursday. I believe this is the news we've all been waiting for. Those who love or hate Israel, I believe that this is the news we've all been waiting for. By the news we've all been waiting for, I'm talking about the ceasefire, end of the war, and return of the hostages. President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has done it again. Twice in his first term of office for the state of Israel. The first with Iran, and the second now with Hamas. President Donald J. Trump has tried and finally been able to secure the first phase of the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, which is supposed to take effect. But on this page, Crackhead, we are committed to reporting exactly as it happens here in Israel, because I know that a lot of you have already seen it online on different, news outlets and social media about this ceasefire deal. But a lot of you do not have access to actually seeing what's going on here in Israel and how it actually happens here in Israel. So, for that, I'm going to be like the mouthpiece. And since the war and everything regarding conflict that happens here in Israel, I 90% of the time take my source from the Times of Israel. And currently, as regards the ceasefire deal you guys have read on social media, the Times of Israel, as of the time of reading this news at 3:57 p.m. Thursday, the 9th of October 2025, the Times of Israel says no ceasefire until cabinet okays deal tonight. And what does Hamas want? Hamas says IDF must retreat before hostages are freed. Now, all the hostages are to be freed in this deal, whether dead or alive. In fact, Hamas spokesperson or leadership or one of the leaders of Hamas says that wherever the living or dead hostages are, they are going to make sure that they will all be freed and returned to Israel. And because of that, there's a lot of jubilation, especially for the families of those who, have, people, loved ones as a hostage in the hands of Hamas. So from the Times of Israel, it says, Israel says no cease. Let me refresh it once more, just to tell you how it says, all right? And it's live now. It says, Israel says no ceasefire until cabinet okays deal tonight. Hamas wants IDF must retreat before hostages freed. And scrolling down the Times of Israel, their main site, here 3 minutes ago, it says U.S. anti-Israel activists vow to keep up the struggle after news of ceasefire deal. Anti-Israel protest groups in the U.S. herald the ceasefire deal announced earlier today with calls to keep up pressure on Israel. And here, 9 minutes ago, it says Hamas will not hold ceremonies when handing over hostages. Sources say, who cares? As long as we have them, that's all that matters. And 28 minutes ago, it says Turkey to monitor Gaza deal implementation. Erdogan says Turkey will take part in efforts to monitor the implementation of the ceasefire in Gaza agreed by Israel and Hamas. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says, God willing, we as Turkey will take part in the mission force that will monitor the agreement's implementation in the field, he says in a speech in Ankara. He adds, it refreshed. Once more, okay. He adds that Turkey will contribute to the reconstruction of Gaza. Israel has in the past expressed concerns over Turkish support for Hamas, the terror group that is to be disarmed and shunted from power under the deal. So as I was reading that, the page refreshed and shows me hostage families await loved ones as reports swell over timing. List of terror convicts in deal. Well, this is an emotional news because today Israel is at day 734th since October 7, 2023. So it's an emotional day for the families that have their loved ones as hostages. A lot of them have died, and even those that came back, a lot of them are still going through this trauma. And yes, I know. A lot of you are going to ask, what of the people in Gaza? Well, war is not good. This is why I think President Donald Trump tried as much as possible to secure this deal. And personally, from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to also say, may the souls of the innocent people. Now, the key word here is innocent. May the souls of the innocent people in Gaza rest in peace. That's all what I can say. War is not good. That is why we should strive and endeavor to live at peace with one another.